Welcome. Another live chat here. And I'm so excited that I have Eli here from In the Garden with Kate and Eli, or Eli and Kate, sorry.
Ah,
And
it's
uh,
mostly Kate and Eli.
yes, well, it depends on the week and how
That's
what you
very
guys are
true.
filming actually, which I appreciate. I love that. So I have to tell a story about Eli before we move on here.
Keep it clean.
It's a very clean story. It's a lovely story. I have been on YouTube since late March of last year.
Is that
So,
all?
yeah, that's it.
God, okay.
Yeah, late March last year. And Tony C. Smith actually asked me to join Potty Mouth prior to me even having a YouTube channel. So it was kind of an interesting, but I loved it and I realized, okay, yeah, I really would like to do this. Well, I think you and I met like this on a Potty Mouth live. I actually went back and we did do one like last June.
Yeah. But did we meet there first or
Well, I followed you before we met.
oh, you're missing a vital bit of this. You've been on my channel.
Yes, no, that's part of the story.
Ah, sorry, I've ruined it now.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. So anyway, I think we kind of met this way, and then you kindly, and here I think I had like 2 videos up by then. You kindly said, "Would you like to come and do a collab with me?" Well, at that point, I didn't even understand what a collab meant. I thought it just meant we were going to do a video together. Now I understand, oh, we put it on your channel and we put it on my channel. Was not aware of that back then. That's how new I was
Ah,
at the whole thing because you kept saying, well, and I'm thinking, uh, I don't even know how to, I'm barely figuring out how to post these things at this point. So anyway, I look at you as one of the first people that really gave me a leg up. Like,
oh,
well, you had me on your channel and you introduced me to all of your followers. And so I will never forget that. I think that was the kindest thing. We had met and chatted, maybe like little chats. So I think you took a big risk. And so
no.
I just want to say thank you for that.
Not at
That
all. See,
was
that's
very
that's not how I see it. It was
well.
just that I really liked you chatting along in potty mouth and what you were doing and stuff. So I had you on because I thought you were awesome.
Well,
It's
I'm just
not
saying.
about kind of helping someone out. It's me stealing another good YouTuber.
Well, that's a very lovely, but I still considered myself like the newbie on the block. So I was like, "Oh my goodness, someone is actually going to have me on their channel. This is kind of cool." So anyway, so I thank you for that. So that you'll always have that special spot for me.
And
Uh, y-
absolutely, I don't know if you realize what an impact you made on me, but to the point where I was on a podcast recently and I was even telling them about you on the podcast. Didn't
what?
name you because I thought you don't know these people, but I was telling the story about your mum and how she's from the same part of Glasgow as
Oh
me.
yes, yes, both my parents. Yes, yes.
Because we were talking about how gardening, even though I'm gardening in Scotland, I have a worldwide audience of 169 different countries. And they were like, why, why? And I was like, well, it's because gardening connects people.
Oh yeah.
And my accent, you may not live here, but my accent might connect you to a memory or a relative.
Mhm.
And I told the story of meeting you. So there you go.
And then I enjoyed your. There's a video on your channel where you and your sister speak about Glaswegian terms, and I couldn't stop laughing because I knew most of the terms,
Yep.
and the ones I didn't, I thought, "Oh, that's a good one. I've never heard that." But it just brought me right back, to my childhood, and yeah, it was wonderful. So I have a special place in my heart for Scotland and particularly Glasgow, because that's where it all happened. That's where the magic
Indeed.
happened.
Yep.
So so anyway, thank you so much for being here. And
It's
I'm
a
just gonna
pleasure.
take a minute to say hi to a few folks.
Hmm.
Thank you so much for being here, Rob and Andy and Jean. Oh, good to see you. Robin, thank you for being here from Chicagoland. I'm gonna be having I'm hoping soon to have Robin on.
Ooh,
And if you follow her on Instagram, you'll know that she does a lot of reels and videos, and she's a wonderful gardener. Mel's here, and Joey, good to see you, sir. Anna, Locke. Oh, Locke is one of those very encouraging gardeners. He does a lot of thumbs up, and you know what? It just means a lot most days. And Locke, I believe, is in New Zealand.
ooh,
So
cool.
happy he's here. And I know we're really, aren't we kind of in the middle of the night for you?
I was just thinking, what
Yeah.
time is it there? Let us know.
Yeah. It's 2 here. I believe it's 7 in the UK.
It's 7 here.
Yeah. So, uh, yeah. So Ruthie, too. Good to see you from New York. Lovely. Well, I thought today we might talk a little bit about December gardening. Because I know for most, oh, excuse me. Whoa. Whoa. Little movement there.
Get a
I know
disco
for
party going on there.
I know, I was having a party all by myself. Uh, I know that for most of us, even if you can grow in the winter, December is kind of a slow month. Like, there's
Yeah.
not a whole lot of growing going on, is there?
Slow and cold and dark and blah.
Yes, yes. The short days, I
Mhm.
think are like the worst part of the winter. Here in
Yeah.
Michigan, we have, well, I think in Scotland too, we have gray skies most of the winter.
Mhm. Cloud
Cloudy,
cover, gray, yep.
dreary. So it doesn't lend itself to feeling like, let's go outside and freeze and work in the
Yeah.
garden.
Or, go outside in torrential rain.
Yes.
It's
Now
just like,
we get more snow than rain,
no,
but
it's rain here.
yeah, no, but isn't Scotland kind of known just for rain? I mean, that's kind of one of your,
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost, yeah. I mean, that's my
The thing
memory
is,
when I've been there. It just always rains.
it's not even like, exciting rain. Like there's places that people talk to me about and they get like crazy torrential massive rain. We don't, we just get constant yeah.
Yeah, drizzle,
Multiple
kind of.
times a day. So it's not like you can go, oh, it's rained and now it's gonna dry up and I'll go. It's like you're out and 20 minutes later it's raining again.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
Yeah, no, we were just in California, and when it rains there, it'll rain, and then it's done, sun comes out, and you're good to go. Uh, it's it's just a crazy wonderful, um, environment there. Crazy wonderful.
yeah. I suppose
Yeah.
we all complain though. Nobody's ever happy.
Well, I think we all want what everybody else has. Like, when you were young and you had curly hair, but you wanted straight hair, and the girl who had curly hair anyway. We kinda want what we don't have. So let's see in the chat, what do you guys like to do to, move the garden forward even in the month of December? What are some of the fun things? I love, in the month of December, to look through seed catalogs.
Mm,
That is, like, right when I feel like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm not excited about it anymore. We'll figure it out next year." I get that first seed catalog in. And my attitude changes, my excitement for what maybe next year could be changes, and I don't know, I start my Christmas shopping
yeah.
right there.
Oh.
Yeah, those are my gifts to myself.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, and because it's a really nice thing that you do indoors, so you can be in the dry and the warm,
Yep,
but you can seasonalize it if you like. So you can make it something you do with like a hot chocolate, maybe
exactly.
sitting at the window. You know that thing where you can hear the rain hitting the window, and you can make it really atmospheric, and you're all cozy.
Yeah,
Hygge it right up.
exactly. And of course, all the pictures in the magazines are right in the middle of summer, and
Hmm.
everything's beautiful, and it just helps, boost my garden spirit in the middle of a month that I look out and everything's buried under a nice white blanket of snow,
Yeah.
and there's not much I can do about that, right? I mean,
Yeah, so you make the best of it by dreaming forward.
Exactly, and dreaming about how can I do things different next year? What worked? What didn't? What do I wanna grow more of? What do I wanna
Yeah.
grow less of?
Yeah, and while you're doing all that proper sensible planning and thinking, you turn the page and you're like, "Ooh, new shiny thing. Ooh, must have that.
Exactly.
Colourful."
Squirrel, I need 2 of those.
Yeah, and
I
then your
don't know
whole
where I'm
plan goes
gonna
out the window because
exactly, I
now
don't know
you've got
where
a
I'm gonna
thing.
I don't know
Yeah.
where I'm gonna put them, but I need those,
Yeah.
somewhere in the garden.
Yeah, do you
Uh,
think anyone doesn't do this?
oh, I can't I would that would be so depressing for me. D now do you grow things indoors in December?
Not usually, no, it's normally I've got stuff going in the greenhouse and out in my beds because I tend to only do kind of the hardy kind of greens and stuff over
Okay.
winter. Um, January is the kind of let's get the peppers and things started.
Okay,
But
so, like, in
December's just yeah.
so in December, you can still grow lettuce and things in your
Mhm.
greenhouse?
I can
Oh,
grow if it's hardy, so it's just an unheated greenhouse. There's not gonna
okay,
be any miracles happening in there.
okay,
I can do things like, winter lettuces, broccoli rabs, all the greens, the Chinese stuff, all of that kind of thing.
okay,
So I tend to have that going, and it's out in the beds in the garden as well because it's actually really hardy for us. So we were down to -6 C this week. Now,
okay.
somebody will have to be really good and switch that to Fahrenheit for me because I'm rubbish at it.
I'm not good once we get into negatives. I'm okay when we're it's still in the positive degrees, I can kind of give it a
Yeah,
but
and
when
then you're like, "Oh."
the negatives really mess
Yeah.
me up.
I'm
Uh,
just hoping someone's got a calculator that they're gonna post it in the chat, but, my stuff, it all wilted, it looked awful, but it got slightly warmer, so we were, like, 2 degrees, 3 degrees the other day, and it's
yeah.
perked right back up again. 'Cause it'll do that, it'll look awful when it's really cold and, you know, frosty or icy, but it will perk up.
See, and 0 Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit here.
Okay.
So, we're not even near our 0 yet, which is really cold because it's 30
Yeah.
it's a whole lot, colder, but I do still have some kale in a bed, and I did put some lettuce in there in, like, September, uh, but it doesn't s but it still looks alive, but it's just
Mhm.
not doing any and I imagine one of these freezes because 'cause we've gone down into the 20s already, so, one of these freezes is gonna fall over, and it's just not gonna get back up.
Yeah. But you get proper cold.
Oh, we get proper cold, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, really, really freezing. I o
I think this is a good thing to point out because it's so easy to get excited when you watch us online,
oh,
but you
yeah,
have to remember that we all do stuff for our gardens. It might not be right for your garden, so,
exactly.
just take a wee note before you just start going following weirdos like me putting stuff in the
Yes,
greenhouse.
well, I started, onions last year on Boxing Day because, uh, that's something Steve from Green Side Up had done
It's a
his
very
whole
British
life yes.
tradition, yeah.
So I thought, "I'm gonna start onions on Boxing Day," which I did.
Yeah, I did the same.
Way too early, for me to start onions, and it did not turn out to be a really good decision. So, and I know you guys, a lot of times St. Patrick's Day is when you plant potatoes, isn't it?
See, no, I
Oh.
don't go with that. I plant potatoes when the ground is 10 C.
Oh, well, that's like being smart about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
'Cause there's no point in putting them in before it's warm
exactly.
enough,
Well,
so
I thought that was, kind of a tradition to plant potatoes on that day.
well, there kind of is, and it's also Valentine's Day is when you put your spring bulbs in the plunge. It
Oh,
comes from way back. These were easy to remember dates, so when people didn't read and write as well and there were other stuff going on,
okay.
a lot of your life was dictated by these regular occurrences, like harvests
Sure.
and things. These were dates that were easy. Everybody knew it was that date because things happened that you could see
Sure.
around your village. So that's just when everyone got
Right.
together. But even somewhere as tiny as the UK, the variance in climate, weather, all of that kind of stuff is enormous between even say London and what we were talking about
Right.
Glasgow earlier. So we can easily be 3, 4 weeks behind
Sure.
what they are down south.
Sure.
So it's a fun thing to do, but always just be aware that dates one place might not match to your conditions.
Right, and
But
microclimates even within that. Like, if you have a lot of stone walls that
Mhm.
reserve heat, all of a sudden,
Yep.
you can grow things a little sooner than somebody who's in a big, wide open field. There's
Yeah.
so a lot of it is trust your own experience in your garden to help you decide when's the moment that this stuff needs to get started. But you're wise. I think, you can't fault temperature. Like, if you take a
No.
temperature and go, "The ground is 10 degrees," bingo, let's go, regardless of what day of the week it is. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yes, it will survive and it will do well. I did see someone was saying something.
Yeah, now just to warn you, I can't see the chat.
Oh, you can't?
It's not updating for me, so
Oh, sorry. Well, I'll try to somebody had said something.
oh, there you go. You've hit a magic button, it's just updated now.
I have? I'm thinking I
Yeah.
don't think I'm just looking at mine because I saw some, uh let's see, someone was talking about oh, here we go. Wow, that went fast. Okay, Andy is saying here, I think I can show this on the screen. There we go. The Garden Organic Heritage Seed Catalog came through the door today. Picking my 6 with a cup of tea, was quite comforting. You
Yeah.
betcha. I think that's like the sign of a true gardener, like, okay, how do we
Oh, yeah.
now I grow microgreens during,
Okay.
uh, the winter, and I wanna get some off maybe tomorrow, because I've got family coming in for the holidays, and I'm thinking they
Aha,
would
that'll be handy
love
then.
to enjoy those, while they're here. I also grow a lot of lettuce in the house 'cause I have all these lights that are set up, so it's kind of,
Yeah.
and it's not as much of an undertaking as it is when you're starting to get your spring garden going, right? It's just lettuce. It needs to be watered.
It's not a drama.
Exactly. And I don't get bugs and I don't, yeah. Yeah.
Now, I've just noticed we got a wee update, so -6, I was saying.
Yes.
So, Let's Grow Home has said -6 is 21 Fahrenheit, so there you go.
Okay, so that's I would call that chilly, but not It's
We
all
we call that bloody
I know, it's
cold.
all what you're used to, right?
It's also I've only learned this through having this whole worldwide gardening community, that cold isn't a standard. So if you've got cold and wet, it feels colder than if you have cold and
Right.
dry. So because I was totally amazed, like Gardener Scott out -20 C in his garden in just a hooded jumper,
Yeah.
and I thought he was crazy. He was like, "Oh no, it's a very, very dry cold
Yeah.
here, so it doesn't feel quite as bad as -4 here and wet. It goes right into your
Well,
bones."
it's like, if you're humid and hot, way more hot than if you're hot and dry. I mean,
Yeah.
because 'cause we're humid in the summer. So, I mean, it's
Mhm.
just like it sticks to you when you go out into it. And
Yep.
I used to think this whole hot and dry thing was just, BS. And then I was in a climate that was hot and dry, and I thought, "Oh, I get it," because it doesn't feel anywhere near
Yeah,
what
it's
yeah,
not
not
yeah.
even close. Not even close. So, I think everybody agrees that it's fun to look at, uh
Yeah, defo. Seed catalogs are a winter fun.
they are. And I'm kind of having my seeds trickle in right now, which is also fun when you pick up the mail
Yeah.
and there's, like, seeds in an envelope.
I found a pile in a cupboard today that I'd forgotten about. I
Isn't
don't
that like
think put 'em aside.
finding money in a coat pocket that you forgot you left in the coat pocket? Oh,
I think it's better.
Good seeds? Were they
Um, yeah, some I can't really see anything because 'cause we've got a bit of a thing going on our channel,
Oh, okay.
but it's, gonna be some fun stuff for next year.
Okay. Alright. We'll let
Mhm.
that we'll hope that stays, quiet until you reveal it. Uh, okay. Okay, this is Danny. I wear shorts for 11 months of the year. I only started wearing jumpers and trousers as most of my
Yeah,
comments used to
you've
tell
missed
me
the vital
off.
bit.
Hey,
Yeah, so that other 8 months of the year, Danny's wearing a beanie hat with a bobble on it.
oh, that is so funny. I live with a man who wears, shorts 12 months out of the year, and he'll
Mm.
even be using our snowblower in shorts, and the neighbors are just looking at him. I'm like, "He's a middle child, just don't ask. Don't ask."
Thing is,
I
as long as you've got, like, a jumper on, you're fine. Your legs don't get cold the way
Well,
your
his
upper half does.
apparently don't. I think it's insane, but, I'm not the one wearing it, so
No, I'm with him.
yeah, no,
I'd wear shorts permanently if I could.
he wears shorts every day of the year.
I don't know if you've just seen that come in, Audrey.
Yeah.
Danny's admitting to having 46 bobble hats now.
Oh my gosh. That
Hey, it's a fashion thing.
Well, you've definitely made it a fashion thing. I think, Danny, you should get some, uh, sponsors that will be sending you bobble hats, and you can talk about them.
Well, I
There's
tell
a
you what,
new
here's a funny thing. The way we were talking, we've got our connection and our story of how we met and stuff. With Danny and I, we've got a thing about the woolly bobble hats because it's something I wear a lot on my channel in winter. And that was one of the things we were like, oh, your hats, all hats are good.
Now, when you're
So there
saying
you
bobble
go.
hat, you mean one that has a pom-pom on the top, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's what I'm thinking that, and I'm like, because we call bobbleheads things where the heads move,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I thought, I think it's just a pom-pom.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I said pom pom if you'd know what that means because it's a weird word.
Okay, well, it's kinda not weird here. How about that? We all have words for certain things, don't we?
That's half the fun.
Yes. So, like today, what is your temp today?
It is currently 1 degree Celsius.
Okay, and so you really don't wanna be outside.
No, because it's also pitch black and raining.
Oh, that's right, it's after four
Yeah.
o'clock over there.
Yeah, we're at the minute, we don't get light in the morning till after 8 in the
Yep,
morning,
that's where we
and it
are.
gets dark just after 3. So,
Oh,
it's, dark when you go to work, dark when you get home from work. You don't get
it's
any
depressing,
daylight.
isn't it?
Sucks.
Yeah, I have one of those, lights, uh,
Mhm.
seasonal
The blue lights.
seasonal affective
Yeah,
disorder. Still not plugged in. I think I'm late.
yeah. I call them grow lights.
Well, I guess maybe I could just lay down in one of my, grow platforms here and get all the grow light. Yeah, this one, it sits up straight, so it's kind of nice, but I still have my fan out from summer. So that's that's how my office is tracking here.
Okay.
I know. I'm a little behind. Uh,
Now, is it you're a little behind, or is it, like the rest of us, and it's just ladies of a certain age?
no, I think we took this 1 month vacation. I don't know if you know, we did a trip out west, and literally we're
Ooh,
gone
oh,
for
yeah, I saw the videos.
yes, we're gone for 20 actually, the first one of those videos is going out this week. Took me a minute to, like it's a national park, you kinda gotta give it
Yeah.
its due, right? So
Oh, yeah.
I thought I'd be able to, edit much more than I was on vacation. So, but anyway, I think I'm behind almost everywhere a little bit because how do you pull yourself out of your life for a month and you just pop back in and everything,
Yeah.
didn't happen. But I am happy that when I came home, there was a whole lot of garden catalogs waiting for me. So I'm just working my way through those. So, like, this week, do you have any, garden plans? Or maybe you're not doing much on purpose?
I have stepped back quite a bit this year because I have been absolutely full on for a few years
Yeah,
now, growing right through every single month, succession sowing. It was quite intense,
yeah,
and I was shattered. So I've stepped back an awful lot. So I've only got 2, well, maybe 1 bed's worth of stuff outside and just a wee bit in the greenhouse, not much at all.
okay.
Um, but, the garden doesn't stop. There are things need to be
Right.
done. We had plans for last weekend, but we got a big freeze here, so the ground was frozen. So hopefully, if it defrosts, I've got some jobs for this
See,
weekend.
that's nice.
But again, this sucks, Audrey. I can't tell you because at the minute it's top secret.
Okay, then I will not even ask any more about that. But there's the lovely thing. Once our ground freezes, it's frozen until next spring. Like there's no days of, oh, it warmed up a little bit. No, we're
Yeah.
waiting till next spring.
It's kind of weird this year, though. We shouldn't be in proper full on winter yet, but we got a cold snap early, like a really, really cold snap. So everything froze, but it's kind of thawing again.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, give it 3 weeks and it'll freeze again. But it's just, this year's been crazy.
Okay. Yeah. I think everybody's felt that. I know I mean, we had a wetter July than we had in May. In May, it's still spring, so usually it's pouring all the time and we had the hottest May we've ever had. And then in July, it did nothing but rain. So
We had the hottest June we've ever had.
you had the what?
Hottest June we've ever had.
So almost the same thing. Like, what is going on? That May was so not wet, and July, I mean,
Yeah.
it rained almost every day in July. And
Yeah.
that is normally it's like get the watering can out because it's July. And you're gonna have to do it maybe twice a day because it's so hot. And it rained
Yeah.
all by itself. So it was crazy. Now, I can't
So
ask you
who
if you
knows what's coming next year?
well, I almost feel like some of this is the new normal. Like some of this weird I think it's just kind of the way it's gonna be, unfortunately. But I think
Yeah,
it kinda is.
definitely.
Yeah, so I'm planning that I'm gonna have a weird spring, but I'm also planning maybe it'll get warmer a little sooner, so I'll take the risk of getting stuff
Yeah.
out
Yeah,
early.
let's go for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really am gonna try to get stuff out stupidly early, and I don't mean but, like, really, that's crazy, but I'm gonna try it because every year I don't do that, I regret not doing it. So I'm gonna
It's called stupidly early for a reason.
I know, but I thought I'll throw fleece over it, I'll
Yeah,
do
exactly.
something to maybe give it a little help, but I'd like to get a really good crop of spinach, like,
Oh,
in
yeah.
the spring, like, a real but you have to plant that, like, so early because
Oh,
mine
man.
bolts so quickly once that
Yeah,
weather
just when it's looking good, bang.
yes. So, I'm really determined to get a really nice crop of spinach, and my husband and I will eat spinach in the month of whatever comes out at every meal until it's gone. 'Cause,
I love spinach.
you gotta have it while it's fresh, right? So I can't ask you if you're growing anything new for next year. So I won't. Now who's the guitar player? I have to ask you that.
Me?
Oh, lovely. Is that a bass? Don't
No.
okay, don't. I'm not a guitar my son's a guitar player, I'm not.
Ah,
So
okay. Well, you can tell him that's a 1952 Les Paul.
I know he will know that. I know he will know that. He got some guitar recently that it's pink. It looks kind of like that, but it's a soft he calls it Marilyn, but it's some kinda
Uh-huh.
cool
Well, that's interesting. You don't see it in this light, but that's actually cherry, so it's a kind of pinky tint.
okay,
So it's the heritage copies of the 50s. So
okay,
it's a copy of the 52,
okay,
and it's this weird color.
okay.
I say cherry rather than pink.
Well, no, his is actually, like, a really pale pink. Like, it's legit pale pink. Anyway, but, okay,
There you go. Tube's asking about it, but I should point out it's not a lefty. It's the cameras doing the mirror thing.
okay. Isn't that funny? The whole camera th
Yeah,
okay,
you
that's what I was gonna
yeah.
ask you about taking time off. Did you feel you were pushing through more in the winter because of YouTube?
I think all year round, YouTube's always on your
Yeah,
head. It's always, and I think the bigger your channel gets, the more pressure that becomes as well. Sometimes it's hard just to garden because making videos can get in the way so
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's just put everyone off that's now going, I'm going to have a YouTube channel. They'll
Oh,
leave
no,
today
I
going,
mean, there
no.
it's like adding anything to your life, right? It's like something's almost gotta give to make room for that, to make it room consistently. That's difficult. And it's not like it's I mean, there are worse things in life, but still, yeah, it's always in the back of your mind. That
Yeah,
or
definitely.
sometimes after I've done something going, "Oh my gosh, that would have been the best content." And oops, maybe if I write it
Yeah.
down for next year going, "Okay, we'll try to make sure that gets filmed for next year." Um,
It's also that thing as well of there's so much boring stuff you do, and there's only so many videos people will watch of the real boring, "Oh, look, I'm tidying up again.
right.
Oh, look, I'm weeding again."
I know. And unfortunately, in the gardening world, there's not that many like, "Oh my gosh, that's revolutionary." "Oh, wow, I mean, it's pretty there aren't a lot of big, huge headlines coming out going yeah. I mean, it's a day-to-day gardening thing, and yet
Yeah.
I still admit I like watching those.
Oh, yeah.
And I am a sucker for potato reveal, which is
Okay.
absolutely ridiculous because we all know what you're gonna find or maybe not find, but I love them. I don't know why. I have no
We
idea.
all have our things like that, though.
The what?
We all have our things like that. Mine is I love a good tidy up the plot type videos.
Particularly if it's
It's like I love that whole, like, you see it and you're like, "That's a state on," and then at the end it looks amazing.
right.
It's like, "Oh, well done. Good job."
Oh, yeah, particularly if it's a messy plot, because some of them are pretty, unkept, at least in my book. Like, I like trimmed edges, I like so if it's one of those that all of a sudden is like,
Mhm.
"Wow." Yeah,
Yeah, big difference.
that's wonderful. But I think because you and I both garden in our backyards, it's a little different because it's
Yeah.
not like I can just walk away and go, "Yep, see you next week." No, I'm looking at it every day. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it
And I think that's the thing when it's a garden rather than, let's see if we can get them all. There's so many allotments, market gardens,
right.
farms, homesteads. What else have we got?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're stuck with it looking at it all the time, so it's important it looks good.
Yeah, because it's still your home. So
Yeah, because it's yours and, you have to look at
right.
it.
I can't j again, walk away and go, "Well, yeah, I'll trim that next week." Yeah, no, it's gonna get done today because that will look horrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, there you go. I was just gonna say this. So Gardner Whedon's posted, and she said this to me. She said, "Thing is, the garden versus allotment. A garden is form over function. An allotment is function over form." So on an allotment, it's about getting the
Oh,
job done. It's about banging things together so they do a job.
right,
When it's your garden, those raised beds are done nicely because you have to look at them. You don't just bang them together.
right. Yes, you don't find wood and you don't care if it matches or not.
Yeah.
Now, you and Kate did a beautiful planter just, a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we've got a couple of them now.
Okay, that was beautiful. It was like a
Oh,
three-piece
thank you.
it was a three-piece, modular thing that you took got rid of
Mhm.
all your pots, or most of them, because
Yeah.
pots I love
They
pots,
breed when you're not looking.
and they take so much care because the water just doesn't stay
Yeah.
in them. But
No.
I thought the beautiful corner piece that you did, I thought, "Oh, water will stay in there." Like,
Well,
y
that was how it came
yeah,
about because we had done the other one, and Kate was like, "It's so much easier to care for. It doesn't need watered so much." And so she was like, "Okay." It was that way where because she'd experienced that one,
right.
she was then much easier for me to convince her that we had to do it again for in the corner.
Yeah. No, and I
It's,
thought
it does make life easier.
yeah, and I thought, the design was so smart because it wasn't just this big, huge one-piece thing that you'd need you and Kate and maybe a neighbor to move, that you can pull it apart in pieces and it's
Mhm. But it also means you can put it in other places,
right.
which is the big thing. I mean, My garden looks much bigger on camera than it actually is. It's 10 meters by 10 meters, and a lot of that's lawn.
Okay.
So if I have a big permanent thing anywhere, then that's it. It's permanent, and I've lost a space when I want to try new things. So when we did that, it was deliberately so we could change things up, move things around if we wanted to.
Yeah, and you can add like an extra piece to make the design totally different. So, yeah,
Mhm.
I thought it was, just so smart and so much easier to care for than all those beautiful pots that we
Yeah,
love.
which do breed.
Yeah,
We started off with just a
I
couple, and I don't remember how we ended up with that many.
well, don't you think you're at the garden center and, "Oh, this is a beautiful pot. This would look great in our garden."
We tend to be the other way around. "Oh god, we've got this plant and we need a pot. Quick, go and get a pot."
Okay. Ah, ah. That's good. Yeah. Okay, so you, you overstart things, and then you have to figure out where we're gonna put them.
And overbuy
Yeah,
things. You know, when you just go to the local garden centre because you need, like, a new hanging basket because it's burst,
right.
and you come back with 2 trees, a wheelbarrow, and, like, 43 cauliflowers or
Yes.
something. That's me.
Well, I love that you can go to a garden center and get all that.
Oh, yeah, we've got a stunning garden centre near us.
Oh,
It's actually a nursery with a little garden centre tagged on, so we get stuff that's actually, like, grown here, just up the
yeah,
road, so it's brilliant. We can just straight into the garden with it.
and it's already hardened for your climate. It's
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. We have one good one, but it's 40 minutes away. Uh,
Ah,
and
okay.
they don't do, like I've even seen where you guys get fall starts.
Mhm.
We don't have any such thing here. Like, it's the spring, once that's done, the garden center's closed, boom. Yeah,
That's another reason to get into those seed
exactly,
catalogs.
so you can
Do your
start
own.
yes, you can start your own. Uh,
So what's your other thing then? Come on, admit it. So you've got your seed catalogs. What's your other secret joy for winter gardening?
uh, what's my other joy? Well, I think growing indoors a little bit, that helps me because those lights are on, and that gives me that sense
Yeah,
of
that's true.
it's time, like, things are growing again. Those lights, to me, just speak like there's new life coming. Um, uh, maybe trying to redesign where I grow things. I try to
Mm,
start
yeah.
every season with, like, a blank slate. Now, granted, now I have chives, I have certain things in places that they're gonna stay, and I have rhubarb in
Yeah,
places things that and, my garlic's already planted, so, but
me
I try
too.
to start with a fresh slate and go, "Now how would this work if we just start different?"
Yeah,
So, that helps. I was a former designer, so it helps me with just that piece of my brain that wants to go, "Okay, how can we do this different? Let's look at it."
yeah,
Even I'll turn the map backwards. So, I'm starting at the back of the plot, not at my deck where so it helps me kinda maybe see things a little differently. So, I do like to do that
yeah.
too.
It gives you something to look forward to because it's like, "Oh, a new thing."
Right, or if I see something new in one of these catalogs that is a beautiful vining something I have a couple of those big hoops between it's actually a cattle panel that goes between my 2 beds. So, I'm always looking for beautiful things to grow on there, and I just want it to be lush and so
Yeah.
when you walk under it, you feel like, "Ah, this is kind of a magical little place."
Now, I totally get that because 'cause I've got a hankering for an arch. I wanna grow things on an arch.
Mm.
So that's what I'm kind of working on with Kate, just chipping away over the years about the whole, I want to put an arch in.
So you're wearing her down.
Yeah, it takes a while, but, I'm not giving in.
But I think she would love that if it was covered with beautiful things.
Yeah, I think when it's done, it would be
Yeah.
amazing, but, whereas I quite like the whole change thing, Kate doesn't like change.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Well,
gotta
and I
compromise.
usually do, I grow yard-long, red Chinese noodle beans on like and
Ooh,
then I try to grow something flowering over the top. So these things hang down like dreads. So when you
Yeah,
walk through it,
cool.
it's like a jungly thing. So those are really pretty as well.
Ah,
I'm not a fan of how they taste particularly, but I grow them just because they're cool looking.
I tell you what, I've just thought of something.
Mm.
So I can't give you any of my top secret things that I'm growing. How about
Uh,
I give you a little top secret thing just for your guys? I haven't told mine yet, so they're going to complain.
okay.
It's a change, something we're going to be doing over winter, so in the next month maybe, and it's going to be a big change.
Okay.
So let's go then. Let's see if you can remember the words, Audrey. The chillutery. What's the chillutery? Can you
The
remember?
chili tree?
Yeah. Right. Okay. So Scottish word for you then, situtery. Your mum will have used this. It is basically a silly Scottish expression for the place in the garden where you go and you sit out in the sun and you have your cold drink and stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So like your patio.
Okay.
We have a little corner spot up where we used to grow the
Right.
strawberries. And I changed it to my little seating spot, and it got called the chill ootery by one of the viewers, so
Okay.
it stuck.
Isn't that where your
Okay.
tomatoes were? Didn't you grow some
Mhm.
up? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I know exactly where you are.
Yes. So there you go. See, because of the whole thing with the tomatoes, we're going to change it up. So I'm still going to grow tomatoes in that, but it means I don't need that big huge bed. So I'm going to narrow that bed and expand our sitting space.
Okay.
So we're going to remodel that this year.
Oh, nice.
So there's something that's going to be quite a big change for the garden. So
Yes. But isn't that
I'm
part of the
thinking
fun
maybe
of
a pergola.
doing a garden is to be able to sit and look at it? Like,
Yeah,
after
exactly.
all
And
that
that's just
work?
such a sport.
Yeah, after all that work, just nice to sit and maybe have a gin and tonic and look out and see what you've accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to jump in here because I'm going to have to do that thing because I'm, what we call them? I was going to say the older YouTuber. That's not fair. I'm not having that. Let's say the more slightly well-known established type. And I'm going to do a thing and say, guys, where are the thumbs up for Audrey?
Oh,
Come on,
oh,
there's not enough there. There's loads of you here.
oh, you're
You're not getting any more secrets till there's twice as many
oh,
thumbs
you're
up.
so cute. Oh my gosh.
That's how it works.
Uh,
You got to earn it here, guys. Come on.
well, you guys are so lovely. I just love this whole community. I feel very lucky to have become part of this. That's how I
It
really
is an
feel.
awesome weekend.
Yeah. All these beautiful people from all over. I just love it. And people that I never would have met
Yeah,
in
exactly.
other, it's great.
And you learn so much from it. Everybody worries that other people know more than them. Everybody's got something to
Oh
offer.
my goodness. And nobody knows all of it. And because there's always going to be something different and a new way to try something. Um, yeah. Although here's what I am going to do this year. I'm going to pre-chit my parsnips. I didn't
Ooh,
do that last year, and because we were doing that parsnip challenge at the Potty Mouth. By the way, the Potty Mouth is back. Mondays at
soft
7.
launch.
I'm gonna be on next week, so it should be fun to get the gang back together, so to speak. Anyway, I didn't because the rules were you couldn't do that this year. And I'm thinking, and I got 0.
Don't you hate rules?
Well, this was Steve's baby, so we were letting Steve,
Mm.
and he's like, "Nope, chuck them in the ground, grow them."
What's the worst that can
Right, and
happen?
he could do that, you know,
Yeah.
me not with the hottest May ever, those babies just sizzled up and dried into nothing. So, yeah, I'm pre-chitting mine this year, and I'm gonna baby them like no other. I'm not
Yeah.
just chucking them in.
Now, so when would you do that? When would you start your chitting?
Probably April, maybe end of
Okay.
April, because 'cause I'd like to know it's warm enough for
Mhm.
them. Like, I don't put my tomatoes out till mid to late May, depending on how that.
June.
Oh, yeah, no, I've never put them out that late. But
Yeah, well, I don't have a
I'll do
choice.
mid to as soon as it's 50 degrees here, which I think is 10, as long as the nights are over 10, I'll put my
Mhm.
tomatoes out. I won't put my peppers out
Yeah.
yet, but I'll put the tomatoes.
That's called June for me, Audrey.
Well, and again, this year, oh my goodness, it was in the 70s in May. mean, it was warm and it wasn't rainy, so there was no spring rains. So we'll see. But
You can always have some backups, just in
you
case.
can't. Although parsnips, don't they just take forever?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is one of the other downsides of my small garden, is I don't have enough space to give over to some of the
Oh,
long crops,
exactly. No,
'cause
and
it
that
it
makes
means
great
I'm
sense.
losing growing
That
space,
makes
so
great
I
sense.
would love to grow sprouting broccoli.
Yeah.
I did it one year and I lost an entire bed, and I didn't this was when I was a really new gardener,
Okay.
and I didn't know about the cabbage moths and brassicas and things. I
Oh,
lost
oh.
everything, an entire bed, and I lost it all in a couple of
Yeah,
days.
no, they will wreak havoc. Yeah, I wish
I
I could
learned
grow purple sprouting. I can't because it won't overwinter
oh,
for me.
it's kind of a staple
I
here.
know, and I see it and I'm like, "Oh, that looks so," and everybody raves about it. So I'm thinking, "Oh, I wish I could do that," but so I just grow sprouting broccolis. I don't try to grow for
Okay.
heads anymore
Yeah.
because I think, "Well, I'm gonna cut it up anyway, aren't I? So let's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
so let's just
Yeah.
do sprouting," and but it's not the beautiful purple. Uh,
It's a weird thing, isn't it? How you can get one thing and not another.
and I don't get, but it's like the purple sprouting needs that vernalization over the winter to really.
To really
I don't
grow.
know because the plants still seem alive to me when I see
Mm.
them in gardens, on YouTube.
We're gonna have to look into this now.
Yeah, well
We're so gonna have to go and investigate this. Could be your challenge.
well, I was even thinking if I moved it into my garage, like, it would be cold, but it wouldn't be
Yeah.
quite as cold as it outside. Would I maybe be able to so I thought of that.
What's the worst that could happen? Give it a try.
Yes. So next year,
Let's be look, we know what Uncle Steve would say right now.
chuck them in.
Just give it a try, yeah, what's the worst that can
Yep, plant it
happen?
green side up. You're good.
Do you know it took me nearly a year to work out that's what his channel name meant? I just didn't twig. He was absolutely hysterically laughing at me one day when I told him.
That is so funny. But isn't that the way
He's
sometimes you just go, "How did I miss that most
I
obvious
know
thing?"
it's so
Yes,
obvious,
and
and he says it often enough, so
well,
it's
and
no.
particularly when he says, "Just plant it green side up." I mean, I think that was the
No.
first time I may have be connected it, but I was like, "Oh, yeah, he's very, very, that was very important." Oh,
Yeah.
Pauline, Morris, we're all coming to visit
Mhm.
Audrey. Are you?
Okay,
Oh my goodness, you would be
cool.
so welcome.
It's when the bus pulls up outside.
You know, we don't have that much room, but we will do our best.
But there's a garage, it's fine.
There's no. Yeah, no, you wouldn't wanna be in our garage. Yeah. That's the thing, we're actually thinking about putting windows at the back of our garage, a whole wall of windows to turn that into sort of a makeshift greenhousey kinda thing, 'cause
That'd be
the back
cool.
of our garage is south facing. So I thought, that might just kinda work. But,
Yeah, that's
eh
quite cool.
yeah, it's pretty packed, so I'm not sure that's
Ah,
gonna
okay.
happen. So, so you grow mainly things that you can flip quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Get the most out of the space I've
so
got.
lettuce, do you grow onions at all?
I only started doing onions a few years ago.
Okay, do you grow
Same most people, I started with the sets,
Yeah.
lost most of them to bolting. Last year grew from seed, not a single one
Yeah,
bolting.
there's a big difference. We don't really have sets. I see them occasionally, but they look so old. Like, how old they came out of the back of a truck somewhere.
Yeah.
So I never even started growing with that.
Yeah, the only thing is because obviously it takes up a lot of space and it's there for most of the
Yeah,
year, so I'm gonna reduce how many I'm doing this year, but it was the fun. I don't know why. You know how there's just some crops that are just more exciting,
yeah,
and it's not usually even sensible? For some reason, the whole thing with the onions for me was so exciting, the harvesting
yeah.
onions. So I can't not grow them, I have to grow them again.
No, do you ever grow bunching onions instead? Like this
I did try it, but I was like, "Nah, not as exciting." And I thought, well, I've got spring onions, so
Okay, but they just don't usually take so long. That's why I was
yeah.
thinking.
I mean, because I did the whole lot, so it was the whole like the Japanese bunching
Right,
onions, the Welsh onions, the Egyptian walking. I tried all the different
right.
stuff, but I was like, I'm not getting the
That
same
okay, the
excitement.
walking onion, I'm still yet to understand really how that's uh,
So what is it you don't
well,
understand?
I know it grows up and then it flops over and it starts growing again, but I'm
Yeah,
confused.
just roots.
Yeah, I'm confused, like, when do you actually get, um, onions? If it's always flopping
So it's
over
not.
and
So
right.
it's not like an onion. So the ones that are settled and taken are grown, and then you'll harvest them, and then you cut, and the ones that kind of flopped over. So it's like when you do your strawberries and the runners. Same
Oh,
idea.
okay. Only they don't walk. They just
Well, they
they just
kind of do
they
because they
yeah, they
spread.
crawl away quietly. Uh, so you get an onion that is like a spring onion?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that to me would be a lot of, land given up for something.
for spring onions, basically.
Yeah, because normally I just jam them in between wherever I have a little bit of room and go, "Okay, in 40 days, we're gonna get some spring onions."
What I did do by accident, I picked up the wrong pack of seeds and just didn't read it properly. A couple of years ago, I did, garlic chives.
Lovely.
Love them, and they will just cope with any weather we throw at
Oh,
them.
yeah, no, they're so good, aren't they?
Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah. So I haven't
Bit more robust than just your kinda spring oniony, chivey type stuff.
oh,
Works
oh,
so
they're
good.
so good. And I saw the coolest thing just yesterday on YouTube. Somebody with their chives had put them in rubber bands about every 4 inches, I'm gonna say, and cut in between them, and then just froze them like that as little
Yeah,
and I thought, "What a way
little
to, like,
bunches.
make it a little more organized," because once
Mhm.
you start harvesting chives, they're just all over the place. So, I just thought, "What a lovely, kind of tidy way to have your
Yeah.
chives and very usable."
Okay, speaking of tidy, confession time.
Okay.
When you're harvesting your chives,
Yes.
are you able to walk away without tidying them up with all the little scrawny bits and dead bits and
Well, normally, I have about I'm gonna say it's about a 50-foot length, and every other chive plant is it's a garlic chive, a regular chive, a garlic chive, a regular chive, and they bloom at different times, and they kind of so we normally will harvest the entire plant. So I'll take it down to about 2, 3 inches, and so all the regular chives get harvested at the same time, and all the
see, I have them in a big bunch.
okay.
So I usually end up it's like I just like giving it a haircut. I usually end up having to go through and pull all the
Oh,
brown bits and the loose bits and,
absolutely,
tidy up.
absolutely.
I just can't not do it.
Well, and I think because we take the whole plant pretty much, we do that part in the
Yeah,
kitchen because then it's like
yeah.
pick out the little so we wait till just after they bloom, and then we because the regular
Oh,
ones
how
come with
beautiful are
those
chive
beautiful
flowers.
mauvey kind of pink flowers, and
So nice.
the garlic ones have white, so it's very pretty. I'll
And this is a big thing that I didn't realise people worried about, but I've had a lot of kind of newer gardeners panic that you can't eat chive flowers when they see me harvesting them and using them. It's like, "Oh, they're
of
beautiful.
course you can eat
They're
those.
just such a gorgeous, subtle flavour."
Oh, of course you can.
And they're beautiful as well in
Yeah,
the
and
garden,
I,
so
watched
bonus.
Liz Zorab, this was years and years ago, who turned, just white distilled vinegar into a lovely pink vinegar by just
Oh,
putting the chive flowers in and letting them soak.
yeah, that sounds awesome.
Oh, it was and it has a lovely, very mild chive flavor. I mean, that
Mhm.
kind of revolutionized my, like and then you could sprinkle them on a salad. I mean, they're beautiful.
You give me ideas now.
Oh, yeah, no, I actually, I had so much chive vinegar, we didn't make any this year, but we're running low, so next year, chive vinegar again. And then there's a great condiment that you can do with garlic chives. You layer garlic chives that you've just chopped up, they're clean chopped, little salt, garlic chives, little salt, like in a ball jar, like one something maybe Pyrex who
Mhm.
will take the boiling, and you heat oil until it's boiling and you pour it over it so it kind of cooks them. But and I think it's a Korean, it's an Asian condiment. Forgive me if it's not Korean. I'm incorrect. Um, but you can put it on rice, you can put it on anything you would just like some oniony. It's wonderful. I can't even explain how good it tastes.
I'm gonna go Google this
And
now.
the oil um, kind of takes on the chive garlic flavor.
Yeah.
So good. So good. I have a video on my
Okay.
channel and it's called The Best Garlic Chive Recipe Ever. Uh, and
Okay.
I got this from watching another person do a little more research, and I'm like, it's the best. So I always keep
Okay.
that. I always
I'm away to look for that video
I
now.
always keep that in my freezer because it's just so as soon as one's
It's just so
gone,
worth it.
pop
Yeah.
another one out because we have a lot of garlic chives. So
So do I. So that's given me really good ideas.
yeah, no, I think it's really important, and I'm going to try to do that even more this year. Is I'm planting things with the thought, okay, how am I going to use this in my kitchen?
Mhm.
Unless I'm just doing it because it's beautiful and I'm growing it just because it's pretty. But if
Yeah.
I'm growing it to consume, I want to have a mindset of, okay, what's the point that I'm growing this?
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
Not just, oh, I'm going to store 9,000 turnips. Well, no, what am I going to do? What am I actually going to do? I need 9,000. No, maybe I only need a dozen.
It's one of my compromises I have to do because I love beetroot and I love growing beetroot. Kate's not as big a fan, and we don't use it that often, so I end up with a huge big thing. So I've kind of had to do the whole, okay, maybe I won't grow loads of beetroot then.
Now, do you ever grow golden beetroot?
Yeah.
Okay. And she doesn't like that.
Oh, it's not she doesn't like it. She's just not as much of a fan as me. I would have it with everything.
Okay. Yeah, I just find the golden ones are not quite as earthy.
No, quite sweet.
However we got that word, I don't know, uh,
But we all know what it
we do.
means.
We know that flavor.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I find that they're not quite. So I grow mainly goldens. I only grow bull's blood for the leaf, but you end up with a beet anyway, right? But I
Yeah.
grow those leaves are so beautiful.
But I did that last couple of years where I grew them for the leaves, just
Uh-huh.
for little salad
Yeah,
leaves. But, when it gets to the point where they get too tough, you've missed them and they've got a bit big
right.
now, I just planted them out and got beetroot out of them. It's like 2 crops for 1 effort.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what
Same with peas. I grew peas for the micro shoots, and then I just put them out as plants.
now that's I've never done that. No, that's a great idea. Because
Yeah, may as well, because it takes up a lot of space, like all the peas and
oh,
stuff, so
yeah.
may as well go for it, double it.
Now do you do your shoots, like, outside, or do you do them indoors?
Uh, I start them off indoors because I do them right through winter.
Okay.
Now, thing is here, they never make it to the kitchen because I eat them while I'm in the kitchen. I just like
They almost
picking
to
them
me,
as I'm
they
going.
almost taste better than peas.
Mm, I don't know if you get good peas,
Ah.
fresh. And again, peas don't make it to the kitchen. They get eaten while we're in
Oh,
the garden
because
doing
they're so
stuff.
sweet and
Oh
they don't
yeah,
need
it's
to be
so good.
cooked. No, I agree with that, but I stopped growing shelling peas because
I'm gonna have to apologise, Audrey. My lot are misbehaving in the chat. I'm so sorry. You just can't take them anywhere.
who's misbehaving?
There's all sorts of jokes about peas going on in there.
Oh, gosh. Well, that's better than, many I've seen. So if they're just okay. Well, what is it? The joke, "Everybody pees?" Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the whole who needs a pea thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Although Robin has pointed out Choggia beetroot,
Uh-huh.
marvellous
Yes.
and raw in a salad. I agree. So we grow Choggia because they look awesome because it's
Oh,
those
they're so
concentric
pretty.
circles.
They're so pretty.
Yeah.
And I have a chef who lives behind our home, like our backyard, and that's his favorite. So I always try to grow him some Chioggias.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, because we have enjoyed many of his wonderful chef creations. So hey, unbelievably, we're in an hour. I
Really?
can't believe it, quite frankly.
No, it doesn't feel like it.
Oh my word.
Wow. We hardly even covered anything to do with winter. We
We
just
just we
chatted
just
stuff.
chattered for what did you call it?
This is what we do
We
though.
chin wagged. I love
Yeah, we
that.
just
I
chinwag.
love that saying. I thought I've never heard that one. Uh
A wee
oh, and
chinwag.
Locke is saying he just picked some peas yesterday.
See, there you
There you
go.
go. When you live in a different climate. Hello.
Oh, Mark just turned up late to the
Oh, hi,
party.
Mark. We're just kind of signing off.
We're just
So
finishing May.
sorry. So anyway, Eli, you're just the best. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you for having me. It's been fabby
It
fun.
has, and maybe perhaps we will do this again.
Oh,
If I can,
definitely.
if I can, if
You give me a
I
shout.
can twist your arm just a wee bit. I know you're very busy. Um, and thank you all for being here with us. I realize, on lives, you're here like in the middle of whatever your day, whatever time your day is. So I appreciate that you are here, and again, love this community, love it, love it, love it. So I think we need to all go back to our homes and look through seed catalogs.
Seed catalogs, definitely.
Yeah, so we'll check in on that next week.
And also, if you've got any really good suggestions, good places for seed catalogs, get them in the comments under the video so that all the folk that missed the party get to catch up.
Yes,
It's good. Other people always have great suggestions.
yes. I'm always looking for new seed catalog
Yeah.
references, please. And so next week, same time, same place. Next week is the 13th. So I think that is JB is going to be here next week. So we will see you back same time, same place. Again, you have a lovely night, Eli, and we'll chat soon.
And you too, you have a fabby day, and I will see you soon.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
See you.